Hello my friend, welcome to Auto's Scale Model World. In this video, you will see a tiny pilot sitting on the pencil. I described rivets around the aircraft and enlarge them one by one. I cut off the needle of the syringe. Use it to take place of plastic cannon. And how to build a magnetic rocket bracket. Let's get started. In order to meet the requirements put forward by British Air Ministry in 1937 for countering heavy or armored aircraft of Germany like the Bf-110, Hawker Company developed the Typhoon fighter. The first prototype made its maiden flight on February 24, 1940, while the first production model didn't make its flight until May 1941. The main reason for the delay in mass production was the Sabre engine selected for this aircraft had rather poor reliability, and there were also problems with insufficient structural strength in the rear part of the aircraft fuselage. In the summer of 1942, the first three Royal Air Force squadrons equipped with the Typhoon fighter, namely Squadrons 56, 266, and 609, began to carry out interception operations against the German fighter bombers. These German fighter bombers, which adopted the tactic of low-altitude penetration and hit-and-run against targets along the British coast, gradually became a thorny problem for Britain. By the end of 1943, more and more squadrons began to be equipped with the Typhoon fighter. This aircraft was used to attack the enemy's ground transportation facilities, ports, sea targets, and airports. After the war, the Typhoon fighter was praised as one of the most effective fighter bombers of Allied forces during the Second World War. Let's talk about this model. The details of this kit are okay, but the rivets are sparse. The kit has some fitting problems. It's necessary to use putty to fill the gaps. The water slide decals in this kit are awful, which are really thick. Mr. Mark Softer can't soft them at all. I bought a 1:72 scale resin pilot. After the painting job, I used super glue to glue the pilot on the chair. The cannon barrels were self-made using the needles of syringes. Firstly, cut off the head of the plastic cannons. Use an electric grinder to flatten the head of syringe. Mark the place where drilling is needed in advance with an engraving needle. After drilling with a hand drill, fix the cut-off needle on the aircraft with superglue. The production of the magnetic rocket bracket is also quite simple. Firstly, buy some strong magnets of appropriate size. After pairing the magnets, glue the slightly larger end to the inside of wing at the position where the rocket bracket is located. The modification of the rocket bracket end will be explained later. Next is the modification of the engine exhaust. The kit provides solid exhaust pipes, which are not so realistic. We need to modify them by drilling holes and enlarge them to correct size. Super thin cement can help us to remove raw edges. The navigation lights have no internal structure at all. I fill them with epoxy putty. The modification of the rocket bracket is also quite simple. Firstly, use a side cutter to cut off the unnecessary locating pins. After sanding, you can carry out the drilling operation. Put the strong magnets into the drilled holes and fix them with superglue. That's how the magnetic rocket bracket is made. In order to simulate the pressure of gravity on the tires, I sand the tires flat. Now it's time to enter the exciting part of painting. First, use Tamiya's XF85 rubber black to create a shadow effect at the seams of the skin. Then use Mr. Color's C363 to paint the belly of the aircraft. After masking, use Mr. Color's C362 to paint the back of the aircraft. Use a pencil to mark the positions that should be masked according to the painting guide. Here I use two masking methods. One is elastic putty, and the other is masking fluid. The parts masked with elastic putty sometimes have soft edges, and the parts masked with masking fluid sometimes have the problem of broken camouflage boundaries. Since I chose the 1944 Normandy Invasion Strips painting scheme, I wouldn't use Academy's large thick water slide decals. Instead, I solved the problem by masking painting. The following shows the power of Academy's water slide decals. Mr. Mark Software is completely useless on them. There was a small mistake here. The color of the ring on the fuselage should be the same ginger yellow as the serial number. Instead of the white I sprayed, but I'm too lazy to change it. I sprayed a layer of Mr. Color thinner to soften the decals, and then sprayed a thick layer of gloss varnish, but still couldn't cover the shiny edges of the decals. I believe that removing the masks is the most enjoyable moment of all modelers. I'm afraid that the masks are too sticky and will peel off the primer, but I can't help to see the final result. Next step is to weather exhaust pipes. I used Victorium's weathering color set, Tranway's rust pigment, and AK's rust wash to weather the engine exhaust pipes. Use Tamiya's black wash to wash the whole aircraft. Then use Victorium's chrome silver for chipping. Although sponge chipping is effective, there are some positions where the sponge can't reach, so brush chipping is needed to supplement sponge chipping. The basic skills need to be practiced well. Here I used oil paint to simulate the tracers left on the fuselage by smoke stains, oil leaks, and other stains where the aircraft is flying under the impact of airflow. After weathering the tires with pigment, spray diluted flat black in a large proportion on the fuselage behind the cadence and exhaust to simulate the effect of smoke stains. Finally, spray semi-gloss varnish, and this Typhoon Mk.1b model is complete! If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.